John Hanna. I'm a local naturalist and outdoor environmental educator. I teach at a school nearby at Hillfield Strathallan College, and we're here in my backyard on the West Mountain in Hamilton.
So as an educator, why is nature important to you, and why do you think it is important to teach biodiversity to our youth?
Yeah, nature is critical. It's critical in my life. I know that it inspired me as a youngster when I was out and about and exploring nature with my family and friends, and coming across things that were firsthand experiences with phenomena in nature that really inspired me, and I try to do the same thing for my students. They're young, they're in grade 6. They live in the most biodiverse region of Canada here in Hamilton, and I think one of the best ways to engage them is to give them opportunities to experience nature firsthand, up close, and it really works. It's been a tremendous thing to do for students.
So how do you engage students in the environment around us?
Well, I take them outside, and we take them on trips to the Royal Botanical Gardens, for example, and introduce them to Coots Paradise. They get in canoes and they explore the water and the habitats around Coots Paradise, and they see birds and eagles and egrets and all kinds of things there. And then we hike them through the forests, and we connect them with the staff at RBG that are experts in species at risk, for example, or the actual crews that go out and are restoring Coots Paradise. We take them to the fishway, and then we get them involved with invasive species removal. Actually, we put them on the end of extractigators, for example, and get them pulling out invasive species and then planting native species in place there. And we expose them to the local birder community, for example, with some of the experts that we have in our area, and we do a bird banding demonstration, and also a monarch butterfly release and things like that. And we use technology as well, like eBird and iNaturalist, to capture what the students are seeing and finding and exploring and becoming curious about.
I love that you're able to engage with so many different organizations and introduce children to so many different ideas. What are some of your favorite projects that you have done with the students to learn about and protect the environment?
Yeah, well, after we do take them out and visit the Niagara Escarpment or Coots Paradise or conservation areas or whatever other wonderful places there are around our school, we ask that question, how can we bring nature closer to our classroom? So we get the students involved with projects here at school, trying to improve biodiversity on our campus. So one of the most exciting projects was this is one of the first ones we did. The students wanted to have a wetland at our school, but the problem is with a wetland, it takes up a lot of space in the ground. There's the risk of water, that kind of thing. So what we did is basically build a box pond with a pond liner on stilts, and then planted it with some of the wetland plants that we get from Bay Area Restoration Council with the Classroom in the Marsh project, grow them in here all summer, and then we pull them out of here in the fall and take them down to RBG to go into Coots Paradise. And that, of course, expanded into larger projects, deeper projects where they wanted fish. So we've got a sample of native species of minnows in here with other wetland plants, and a nice welded top to go on that. And from here, the projects have just expanded way beyond the edge of the classroom to all around the entire campus, which we'll share with you shortly. This is another student project. It's called a Miyawaki Forest Restoration Project. And a group of 5 students researched the Miyawaki Forest Project style. They identified plants that we could grow here. They helped in ordering the plants, and they coordinated the planting in partnership with Mohawk College, HSC students from grade 4 to grade 12, and we've got about 400 plants representing 36 species packed into a couple hundred meters square, densely planted, and the idea is that they all come up together. And this was only planted in May, and already it's showing a lot of potential. We've got the bird boxes here beside it. We've got a little bee ground hotel over there from logs. woolly bear, caterpillar habitat, and lots of wildflowers were planted after on the sunny sides of it too. So it's been a great project to begin linking corridors around our campus. So from the east-west here, and then we'll have some more going north-south, and birds and mammals will start to use this space as it continues to evolve. So this is one of the student projects. They got the design from McMaster University, designed it here with one of our carpenters, and put this up. And the student was so excited because the day they put it up, we had a family of black-capped chickadees that moved in, built a nest, and raised 4 chicks and fledged them. And then about 2 weeks later, we had a family of house sparrows that moved in, and that's the remnant nest of the house sparrows that's in there now. The design is that there's a little wall here where the nest is built behind the wall, and this is called the mud room, where the adult comes in and gets rid of some of their water and mud or whatever they have, so they're not wetting the nest, and the chicks have a better survival rate. So here we are at the Willow Landing, which is a 2,000 square meter combination forest planting of native Ontario trees that include Carolinian species. And this was another student project to create a space for outdoor learning. So there's a big circle here where you can come and bring your class and meet, and there's bird feeders to bring in the birds. I've got wild bergamot and butterfly milkweed, as well as service berries and hackberries, Kentucky coffee tree, all kinds of other trees that were all planted by students. We have about 450 trees that were planted in this area, representing another 35 species of native trees of Ontario. We've got QR codes that are going on the trees to label them in different languages, including Indigenous languages that we can find, because we want the students to grow up understanding that place represents the ground where we are, and if we take care of that, we can take care of our future, and that's a really important aspect of all of this work, is to introduce the kids to the land and to the native species that are here and were here in times gone by. And just over that way, we've got another 1,000 square meters of oak savanna, which was the original habitat in this area, along with Ontario tallgrass prairie, projects funded by the World Wildlife Fund and supported by Kayanase growers, Indigenous growers, as well as verbinans, which are growing native plants, and all planted by students, managed by students, inspiring inquiry projects across our college from kindergarten to grade 12, and we've also established our first seed library, where we collect, weigh, and package seeds for distribution to other projects and other schools. Hopefully we'll take it on as well in our area. So it's a wonderful site, wonderful location, lots of great projects that are emerging from here in our future too. So we've got pin cherry here. If you scratch the bark and smell the aroma of pin cherry, it's very obvious. It's wonderful for kids to experience those. We've got eastern white cedar and eastern red cedar here. We're planting native species, 3 of the 4 medicinals anyway. We've got white cedar, and we've planted sweetgrass, as well as the buffalo sage, where students have handled those and put them in the ground, and they collect them, and they've braided sweetgrass, and they've also used the buffalo sage just for aroma, exploring different ways to appreciate those plants that are really important in our Indigenous ways of knowing.
Wow, that is truly a lot of different projects. It's so nice to hear that there are so many kids of so many different ages getting outside, seeing all these projects, learning what's important, learning all the different habitats, all the different plants, and I love the fact that First Nations is involved as well. It's really nice to know about that learning as well, and that we're so focused on native plants. I love hearing all this. So many different projects. Thank you so much for showing me all that. I was wondering if you had any really cool personal nature stories or any fun stories with the kids that you'd like to share.
Sure, I do. There's countless experiences that I've had in my life, I think, that I'm immensely grateful for, and I think the the fun now for me is this. I mean, I'm at the end of my career as a teacher, and I'm really, the best is yet to come, really. And I think for me, the most exciting thing and the most rewarding thing is to see my colleagues embracing the concepts and doing what they think they want to do with their students as far as inquiry goes, and the projects that they're implementing in their part of the school. And for me, just every year there are students who have aha moments where they've been on the end of a shovel planting a species, or they went down and helped the little kids braid some sweetgrass, or they saw the birds coming in for the first time in the nest. All of those kinds of experiences really, for me, are the goal of what I'm trying to do, and they bring me so much pride and so much encouragement and so much positive thoughts towards a sustainable future that I think we can all be really proud of here, that we're creating for these students here. And it's just wonderful to see all of those things coming to life, and the students having a good time out here, engage with it, and being cognitively restored, and their wellness is improved, and their engagement, their experiences with the diversity of things that we have in this wonderful community of Hamilton, and here at this amazing school at Hillfield Strathallan College that I am incredibly grateful and proud to be representing here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Is there any final words you'd like to share with us today?
Just that I feel like there's a little bit of reciprocity with the land that's happened, and I acknowledge the indigenous peoples for thousands of years that lived in this area and cherished it, and I'm so grateful that I've had this opportunity to grow up here as a settler and explore it and live it, and maybe try to do a little bit of what I think is right in restoring some of the ecological integrity anyway, and a bit of the mindset of that we really have an incredible sort of the dish with one spoon concept of this area is so true, and we really have to give back a lot more right now. We've taken far too much, and I think this is one small way that we're doing our part to begin that process of reciprocity with the land. So thank you.
Thank you.